Lagos had a way of making kings overnight. One day you were just another hustler weaving through the city's chaos. The next you were stepping out of a Lamborghini, cameras flashing, champagne flowing. But the thing about Lagos, it never forgets, and when it comes for you, it comes hard. If there was one man who embodied this rise and fall, it was Emeka, Emi Luxury, Okafor. And I should know, I was there from the beginning. Though I wasn't deeply involved in his life after our school days, or particularly fascinated by his lifestyle, I mostly observed from the background. Still, we occasionally met as longtime buddies. I first met Emeka back at Unilab, where we both studied, or at least pretended to. Back then, he wasn't Emi Luxury, he was just another street smart hustler who could talk his way into and out of anything. He sold phones, ran sports betting schemes, and had a way of making money appear out of thin air, but it was never enough. Poverty is an affliction, and I will be healed, he used to say. His family on Onitsha barely scraped by. A father drowning in debt, a mother stitching clothes to keep the lights on. Emeka hated it. The long queues for water, the borrowed school fees, the shame of knowing some doors would never open for him. But he believed one thing: Lagos is the cure. And for a while, it was. His first break came through a wealthy importer who needed a middleman for an electronic shipment. Emeka handled it flawlessly, earned his first million, and walked away hungry for more. He dabbled in real estate, forex trading, and cryptocurrency, always chasing the next big win. But as they say, money attracts money, and just as easily it slips away. He made risky investments and lost heavily. A lesson Lagos often teaches those who rise too fast. Debts piled up, meals became uncertain, and connections soured. There are times where he reached out for me for financial help, his confidence shaken. The pressure almost broke him. Twice, when things became unbearable, he left the city, only to return, each time more determined than before. Both times he returned bigger, louder, more ambitious. By the time he re-emerged as Emi Luxury, he wasn't just another hustler, he was a brand. The Instagram pages, the designer suits, the luxury cars, he had crafted an image so powerful that even people he owed started believing in him. That's when he launched Royal Prestige Autos. The business model was irresistible, a high-end luxury car rental and investment scheme. Investors pooled money to lease exotic cars, Rolls Royces, Ferraris, Bentleys to Lagos elite. Emeka knew the market well. He knew that in Lagos, image is everything. Every wedding, music video, and politician's convoy needed to scream wealth. "You see these cars?" he'd say, standing outside his Victoria Island penthouse, gesturing towards a lineup of Lamborghinis. They don't rest. Every weekend, every event, money is rolling in. You invest, you earn. And to prove it, he delivered at first. Early investors saw returns. Some even received more than promised. Businessmen, entertainers, even politicians poured millions into the scheme. To keep the hype alive, he paid top influencers to flaunt luxury cars they didn't own, flashing cash that wasn't theirs. But there was just one problem. There were no cars. Not really. At first, he made it work. He rented luxury cars for short periods, just long enough to film extravagant handovers to clients. He faked receipts, forged ownership papers, and hired private security to make his lifestyle look untouchable. But Lagos never sleeps, and the people who put millions into his business, they started asking questions. A senator's son paid a ridiculous amount for a Rolls Royce Phantom for his wedding. When the car didn't arrive, Emeka had an excuse: custom delays. A week later, another investor tried to withdraw his capital. The payout didn't come. Then came the wrong investor. A man whose money should not be played with, a retired army general. The general's men visited Royal Prestige supposed warehouse, and the gates were forced open, and nothing inside, just an empty lot behind a rusting gate. That was when the panic started. Investors flooded Emeka's phone, demanding answers, but by then, he had already made his move. On a Sunday morning, just as EFCC agents prepared to raid his penthouse, Emeka was nowhere to be found. His office? Deserted. His account? Wiped clean. His social media? Gone. Lagos erupted with rumors. Some said he had fled to Dubai. Others swore he was hiding in Ghana. A few whispered something darker, that the general's men had already handled him and he would never be seen again. But the truth? No one knows. The EFCC launched a full-scale investigation, but without a trace of Emeka, there was nothing they could do. Investors who once flaunted their exclusive access to Emeka's luxury now avoided the topic entirely. And me, I couldn't shake his last words to me. Lagos loves kings, but when it gets too hot, the smart ones leave before the fire starts. Months later, whispers began circulating about a new luxury rental apartment rising in Abuja. Different name, same game. But that wasn't the real story. The real story was what happened after Emi Luxury disappeared. At first, people thought he had just vanished. Then his world started collapsing piece by piece. Sheyi Flex, the influencer who flaunted Emi's fake wealth, was found dead in his abandoned G-Wagon. Doors open, engine running. Remy Benz, the forex trader who vouched for him, went live on Instagram one night when he heard a knock at the door. The stream cut, he was never seen again. One by one, Emi's close associates started disappearing. Some were found, some weren't. And those who were, they were unrecognizable. By then, even the bystanders were scared, because whoever took Emi Luxury wasn't done.